Our next lesson on the basics of sociology is called primary socialization. Socialization is very much a sociology word. It really means, socialization means how you learn, how you are taught the culture, how you are taught how to behave is called socialization. It's nothing to do with talking to your mates. That's socializing. Primary socialization. I can recall the definition of primary socialization. Understand it? Keywords are observe, is watch, imitate, copy, instinct, sponge, absorb, family, primary socialization, again, experiment, cruel, Kamala and Amala, two names, feral means wild. Here's the quiz on the previous lesson. Read the questions. If you don't know the answer, pause now, go back to the previous video, watch it and answer those questions. Right, read that. All about a little girl. She was 5 when she was found. She spent years with a pack of dogs. She couldn't speak. She walked on all fours. She barked. She hadn't learned how to be a human. Another famous example is Amara and Kamala, two wolf girls. They were raised by wolves when they were babies. Amala died very young, but Kamala, when she was 14, she'd been rescued she was about 7, we think, when she was rescued. She'd been with wolves her whole childhood. 7 years later, after 7 years with humans, she could only speak 40 words. She could speak 2 to 3 word sentences. I am hungry. She was not toilet trained. She could not run. She's what's called a feral child. She copied the animals she was with when she was a child. A typical 5-year-old in our culture can speak about 500 words, can speak in 20-word sentences, is toilet trained, can use knife and fork, can run. We have to learn how to be human. Yeah. So what does this all tell us about the job of the family for humans? Your family's job is to teach you how to be a human. And we don't use the word job in sociology, we use the word function. The function of the family is to teach you everything you need to know to be a proper human in your culture. And we call this primary socialization. Primary, first, and most important. Socialization, being taught the culture, learning the culture. Primary socialization is when the family teaches you the basics of being a human. Language, toilet training, walking on 2 legs, what to eat. And the family is the agent of primary socialization. It's the family that teaches you all this basic stuff. And it takes 3 forms. Direct instruction. Your family sometimes, as a child, tells you to do certain things, teaches you to do certain things, like the picture at the start. Reading. That's called direct instruction. 2, use of sanctions. You learn quite a lot of our culture from being punished if you do the wrong thing. So you learn, oh, don't do that, we don't do that, because if I do, I'll get in trouble. That's a sanction. Sanction means a punishment. And most importantly, imitation and role model. The human brain, when we're born, is big but empty. It's like a giant, very, very dry sponge. You throw it into a liquid, it absorbs the liquid. If the liquid is the culture, you throw the sponge in, it absorbs it. And you do that through watching and copying. You watch and you copy your parents. So you speak like them. You act like them because you're copying them. They are your role model. They're teaching you how to behave. And then we can go on and do these questions, all about socialization. and we'll do more work on this in future, gender socialization. I'll mention it quickly now. We have to learn how to behave. We have to learn how to behave as a little boy or little girl, our gender. Gender, not biological sex, male or female, but little boys wearing blue, little girls wearing pink. Little boys having toy cars, little girls having toy kitchens. We call that gender socialization.